Pepper says, are you ready for an updated basement tour? I know I am. Hello everyone and welcome back to A Hoarder's Heart. For today, we are back in this basement giving an updated basement tour. And yes, this video is brand new, so thank you for your patience because I really needed to take a mental health break last week into over the weekend because I was feeling anxious and stressed and I could feel myself forcing myself to declutter. And when I get to that space, I know I just need mental clarity. I just need to pause and reset for the moment because it takes a lot of energy to not only record, film, edit, declutter spaces, it's also showing up every day, battling your mental disorder and consistently changing your baseline and doing it publicly. So that's why it was very important for me to take that break. So thank you for your patience. I also want to give a very special shout out to Vanessa Whitney Pro. Thank you so much for your super thanks donation. It means the world to me because it means that you believe in me and my passion to humanize hoarding disorder so that we can help people clean and declutter and heal all around the world. So Vanessa, this video is dedicated to you. Now, let's start this basement tour. As you go down the steps into the landing, you can see that there are some things there, and my clutter blindness has now come clear because we'll need to work on that. Now, there's Miss Peppy saying hi, and this area is what we've been working on for the past couple of weeks. This was all a part of phase 2 because there was labeled bins, but still some churned items. Now, this right here is hubby's newest workout station. So this wall had been cleared out from years before and he installed this in that area. Now turning to this wall, the one that we just worked on, this is going to be shelving units. So that way we can stack up bins so they're off the floor and protected. And hubby did take down that dip down bar that he had over here. He took the wood and all that stuff down. That way shelves could be placed here. And if you turn around over here, you can see that, yes, this is all open space. And a matter of fact, here's the wood that hubby still has to take upstairs from that tricep dip bar thing that he had. But what a difference overall that we have cleared out this space because it used to be so hoarded that I couldn't even get a full picture. And now you can clearly see the difference over the years. Now moving on over to the opposite side. This was hubby's original workout station. I don't know if he still uses this or not. I actually have to ask him, but he works out down here and my oldest son likes to work out in the basement too. Now, moving to this shelving unit, this is holding a lot of my bins from childhood, which would be the 80s, 90s, and then 2000s. But the first half of the 2000s were more of my college years. But that's what this is. Now, walking straight through here, this is still open. At one time, it was very hoarded. Now there's some odds and ends here that could be straightened up and I'd love to get like a used table to replace that bin for hubby's radio. But overall, this section just needs to be kind of like straightened out. And honestly, it wouldn't take that long to do it. Now, if we turn around over here, we enter the Christmas cave, which is, well, she's a hot mess, let's be real. And she's kind of turning into the holiday cave because here's Valentine's bin, here's some Easter bins, and we do have to declutter and reorganize it, especially because whenever we do call a plumber to kind of like see what's going on to see why the back of this gets water, we'll have to clear this all out. Now, temporarily, hubby hooked up a hose so that it doesn't get wet. But again, we still need to sort it so that a plumber can safely get in there. So now turning back around, let's come over here to hubby's workout station. We're crossing the front half of the basement. There is the second workout station. And then here's this side. Now, from this angle, it looks really bad, but this is where I was placing all of the organized bins that we were working on for the past couple of weeks when I was saying I'm putting it to the other side. But once hubby starts building the shelving unit for that other wall, all of these bins will be gone and the space will be cleared out again, because if you look over it, there is an open space except for the ab roller, which I'd love to get rid of. And also there's hubby's clothes in the shelving unit over here. And there's just bins that we have to go through. This is kind of part of phase 2 where there's labeled bins and we just need to go through them and condense them down because it's not a wall of mixed up stuff anymore. Now, here is another ab machine, and this is why I'd like to get rid of the blue one, because we have 3 ab machines all together. This one I actually use, and I don't know if anyone else uses it, but I actually use this one because if we turn around, here is another ab machine. But there's hubby's stuff on it, a lot of different tools, his things that he uses. Again, this is actually just a quick pickup, but I can't go through it. It's not mine. So respectfully, when hubby has the time, he needs to go through, declutter, sort, condense, and organize a lot of his tools that are temporarily kept in this space. Now, if we walk around this piece so that we can start to look towards the middle and the back. Now, right over here is the treadmill that both hubby and my oldest son use this. And kind of on the side of it, I don't know what that is. I guess it's workout stuff. It's not mine because these pieces, they're also hubby's too that he has to go through. Now, I know it sounds like this is all hubby stuff, but it's kind of like that's where it is. It's in the front. Trust me, as we go back, my stuff is back there. Now, this little corner, this is actually like uncharted territory. We've never gone through this little space back over here and decluttered it ever over the years. So that's something that we totally have to do. And this over here is the under the bed storage, but it's completely empty. And as we continue the tour, you're going to see a lot of empty bins and boxes because it's phase 2, baby. We got to get back in here and not only start reorganizing and condensing bins, we're also going to start getting rid of storage bins as well. Now, this is kind of like the huge hallway down towards the back. So if we come over here, it's open. We can walk. If we come on this side, here's some bins that were from the beginning that we put to the side, like we had gone through this bin. But here's some older bins, like yard sale winter coats, baby bins. These were all gone through and labeled. So the winter yard sale bins, they'll be gone for the next fall yard sale. Same with this Christmas bin because it says Christmas to sort. If we turn around over here, we have labeled bins. Now this bottom one, it needs to be sorted. That's why Follow Through Friday came in this year because it's so important that things are not getting churned. This bin is labeled empty, and thank goodness, because she's a big one, she's empty. And it looks like it was because we did the KonMari method on the clothes because they were old clothes. And if we scooched right here to the side, these are obviously labeled sentimental, teen, childhood. And then as we move up, this is churned items, but they're kind of like keep churned items. Like my label maker, it just doesn't have a home. And the frame that I want to use upstairs, it just was placed here temporarily. And as we turn around again, you're going to see this. And this is the wall of empty tubs, boxes, and bins. Okay, so I did want to pause to show you that these rows right here, it's all like empty boxes and bins from decluttering over the years. And though we've gotten rid of a lot of boxes and stuff, like these were kind of like for sorting and yard sales and stuff like that. And I just kind of funneled some of them over here. So yeah, we can totally get rid of some of these boxes and stuff and opening up this space. And then behind all these boxes and stuff, there's Baby stuff. Baby stuff is another huge category that I'm going to have to go through and try to condense. But I just wanted to share a little more in depth as there is still a lot of stuff in this basement, but luckily it's kind of part of phase 2. There's a lot of empty boxes and bins. There's also a lot of stuff that are in bins labeled. Now, I have to be open and transparent behind the emotions of hoarding disorder, even as a recovering hoarder, and how far we've came. You sometimes still get comments saying, you still got a lot of stuff. You still got a lot of clutter to go through. And I just want to point out that that is just as emotionally damaging to a recovering hoarder as someone on a extreme weight loss journey who has to lose 200 pounds and they lost 100 pounds, getting up, showing up, fighting every day to lose that 100 pounds. And someone goes to them and says, you still have to lose another 100 pounds. You're still overweight. Like, that's how emotionally damaging that could be to a person, because we all know that that is a horrific thing to say to someone on a weight loss journey. And I just had to share that it's equivalent to a recovering hoarder, right? That's how my brain's wired, and that's how my nervous system is registering. Even though we're consistently changing our baseline and consistently giving ourselves love and grace, it still kind of mirrors that pain within as to, why can't I do this as fast as everybody else? Well, because it's our journey and it's okay. And it's going to take as long as we need it while we're clearing out clutter, clearing out whatever our vice in life is.
And I just wanted to share that with everyone, just in case someone is feeling like I do. Because honestly, the only reason why I've kept going is because I have the most loving YouTube family ever. Now let's continue the tour. This bin right here, I had noticed that there's a couple of bins that are labeled miscellaneous old tossies need to sort. That's why I started follow through Friday in the beginning of 2025, because I was noticing that I recorded the tossy pile, but I never recorded taking it up, following through. And later on, when I would just put things to be organized, I started putting tossy things in there mixed in. So that's why when we go through phase 2 and reiterate it, we're going to continue showing us throwing the items out, recycling, or taking it to a donation center. And of course, these are some of the labeled Christmas bins, a Christmas craft. But if you look behind this wall, it's like there's layers of bins, because behind Christmas, these are the labeled craft bins, right? So once we move Christmas to the other side, then we can go and sort and organize crafts. And then there's still one more layer behind that. And I haven't gone through that stuff back there in over 2 years. So we'll definitely be chopping away at all of that. So let's move towards the back of the basement now. A lot of the bins that we do have, right, they are labeled keep bins. Like I have my all season clothes right over here, some high school graduation bins, but the majority of it is going to be the yard sale bins. Now, most of them are empty, and I have been funneling new stuff into them. So when we have a fall yard sale coming up, we will have stuff to put in it. But luckily, a lot of these bins are already labeled empty. I can clearly see that this is yard sale stuff for fall because it is Christmas and fall items. And technically, yeah, I could have kept all the yard sale bins like this, but I kind of just stacked them really quick because it was such a long day that day. And I always lose the lids to the bins. And you can't give away bins if you don't have the lid. Well, I mean, I guess you can, but people would like to have the lid. And then here's some organized labeled bins. Here are all the canvas bags that are going to be given away during the yard sale. So when people buy stuff, they can put it in there. So this is the back of the basement looking forward. This center space is pretty opened up, but now Now we have to show this side of the basement.
I would say that this section is the most emotionally charged because it has become re-hoarded, and I feel like a lot of that is my fault because what has happened when my kids do go and declutter, they kind of mimicked me, the old me, where I would churn it and I would kind of like say, yeah, I don't want it in my room. I don't want it upstairs. I'm going to throw it in a box and kind of throw it down here. And that's decluttering my room. And the reason why that's so emotionally charged is because y'all know that I started this journey because of my kids. They were the catalyst. And I did not want them to grow up to struggle with hoarding disorders because they, that's what they knew as children. And I was hoping that I caught it in time. So the emotions being mirrored is that I wasn't a good enough mom to change for my kids, or I started it too late, which is not true. I didn't start it too late. So instead of me being so hard on myself, like I did this, it's more of a teachable moment for my kids that I am going to have them come down and say, hey, here's a pattern that we've all done our whole life, but we need to fix it. We need to actually sort, organize, and truly take out this stuff that we don't want anymore so that we can create the spaces that we do want, right? I know that we need to clean this out to get to the circuit box over there. I know that. But it's not a logical journey. It's an emotional journey, especially when it involves your kids. I just wanted to share that. It's very vulnerable. It's very vulnerable because you want your kids to do better than yourself. It's okay. It's okay for me to have these feelings and let them out now because that's what's healthy, is releasing it, not withholding the emotions, and having good conversations about it.
And with that, we're going to end the basement tour. But we're not done decluttering. The story is not over. It's just beginning. And I'm hoping by me being open and honest and vulnerable and sharing my transformations alongside my trials will motivate and encourage you to clean, declutter, and let something go in your home today too.